What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to Sooner Surge YouTube Live as we are here awaiting. We're about 3.5 minutes away from halftime on the IMG St. Joe's Prep game where we're going to await David Stone's decision. And I don't know about you guys, but this is very optimistic, I think, for me. And I'm really curious how this is going to go, like how he's going to announce this. Is he going to do this on the field? What are your thoughts, guys?
Well, I know he's doing it. I know he's doing it on Instagram Live as well. So I don't know about the field or everything. I am interested to see how he's going to do it because we all know how David Stone is, how he's been on Twitter for 2.5 years, even joining Twitter spaces that I've been on. He's popped in there. I mean, he's just flamboyant. I'm interested to see how he's going to do this tonight for sure. How we feeling, guys? How we feeling, Sooner Nation? Confident tonight?
I'm feeling great. What is the over-under on hat pickups and fake-outs?
Traylor, great point. There's no way his first hat pickup's going to be the right one, right?
Yeah, no. If he picks up OU originally, I'm going to.
I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, Taylor, sometimes they pick up that first one.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that. Yeah.
And then they come all the way back to it at the end. So
he might just go through all six.
Hey, honestly, guys, the build-up leading up to this is this. I mean, I've been a Sooner fan for a whole long time. I'm in my mid-40s. With social media around, there hasn't been anything this, I guess, what's the word that I'm looking for? But I guess this anticipated as a recruit, and maybe ever, guys.
Well, and you talk about it. Oklahoma hasn't landed a 5-star interior defensive lineman since Gerald McCoy, I believe. You talk about it because they had Tommy Harris, Gerald McCoy, on and on and on. Oklahoma's been lacking these 5-star defensive linemen. David Stone, if he commits to Oklahoma, he has a chance to flip the shift, flip the narrative around Oklahoma, and maybe see that these 5-star defensive linemen can choose Oklahoma. And that Oklahoma, we know in the 2023 class, they had a pretty good defensive line class, honestly. But they just didn't have that elite, dominant interior guy. And if you can get a guy like Stone who can push this defensive line class up a whole nother level, it'd be incredible.
Well, and what I've watched tonight, you put him next to Jaden Jackson, I'm happy. I mean, those two right there.
I think we're all would be very happy with those two on the same defensive line. He had the strip sack tonight earlier in the first quarter of Maj Jones. That's I think 4-star quarterback, 4-star quarterback at St. Joe's, committed to Cincinnati. So playing a lot of elite talent. I mean, St. Joe's is the 10th ranked team in the country right now. So
I see that comment. Was Redmond a 5-star?
I'm looking it up.
I don't remember. I know R.J. Washington was on the outside.
No, he was not a 5-star. I don't think Jalen Redmond.
Jalen Redmond was a 5-star.
Yes, he was.
But was Redmond recruited as originally an edge player, though?
No, he is an edge, yes.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing was with Kevin Gilliam, I believe. He was a very
No, R.J. Washington was, too. He was a 5-star, but he played outside.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Redmond come in as an edge, and then he moved him.
Yeah, he was a weak side defensive edge. Kevin Gilliam was 144. He was also an edge.
Hey, Redmond just had the injury bug, guys. I mean, I don't know what his ceiling would have been had he not had that. But, yeah, definitely was an end guy that they moved to the middle. I'm sure, Briley, that Miami's dropping some serious bags.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they are, but I'm hoping that the other things went out in this case.
Jeremy, I know Stone posted today, or I saw the repost a tweet from 2022 where he said NIL will not land me. I don't know if y'all saw that tweet. That was from a year and a half ago, I believe he said that. So we'll see if that rings true.
The other dynamic with Stone is that, like, he is so – I don't even know what the word is, but he's so, like – he talks so much to other recruits, and he's such a good recruiter in his own right that a guy like Stone could be the turning point in so many other recruitments. If Nigel Smith isn't locked up, a guy like Stone could be the decider in locking him up. And I know everyone will point to, like, Dominic McKinley, but I believe that there was somebody that was like, you know, this could be kind of bad for Dom McKinley because Don McKinley coming in with David Stone, Jaden Jackson, possibly Nigel Smith, Wyatt Gilmore. While that's also enticing, it's at the same point, it's like, okay, you could either come in with all four of those guys, you could go to LSU or Texas and be your own, star leader of the class. But David Stone is an incredible recruiter and can be the turning point in some of these other recruitments.
And the thing with Stone is his personality is such a personality that you would want to be around as a player because he's so energetic, right? He brings fun to the game. We've seen him on the field, whether he throws up to you, whether he throws up another team's college shine. He plays football to have fun, guys, and that attracts players to him because he loves the game of football. He's a great teammate. You talk about the relationships he's built over the years with Michael Patterson McDonald, Jaden Jackson since he got to IMG, and there's many other recruits he has relationships with. So Stone is truly just a loved player all around by his teammates.
Hey, and he's really the equivalent of Kevin Sperry on the defensive side. If we're going to compare recruiting, that's kind of the thing that Kevin Sperry's done on the offensive side. But you have this question here from May Tubby 12. Who was the better high school prospect, McCoy or Stone? And listen, one thing is that the ratings are a little bit different now. It's hard to – I mean, when you guys agree with that, with the amount of ratings there are nowadays versus when Gerald McCoy or even Tommy Harris was in being recruited?
Mm-hmm. I also wasn't alive for McCoy, so I'm going to say Stone.
They're very similar in body type and the way they play, I think. Now, I don't know who is the better prospect. I think Stone's upside is – I mean – we're talking a first-round draft pick, high top 10 is his ceiling, don't you think?
Yeah, which would be the same as McCoy if you look at that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Joe
Yeah,
McCoy
to answer your question, David Stone is slightly higher than Gerald McCoy, but as Jeremy mentioned, the rating system back then was a little different. It's more advanced, but you want to talk about similar body styles. Stone's 6'4", 275 on 247. McCoy 6'4", 305. So McCoy was a little bigger. I think that was his high school number. That might have been his NFL number. If he was 6'4", 305 in high school, that's just that's almost unbelievable at that point. Anyhow, so the similarities are definitely there. They're from the 405. I mean, if Stone comes to OU, another hometown kid, we were all at the spring game, I believe. Taylor, weren't you there?
Yep.
Yeah, they played the Switzer video up on the Jumbotron, and I mean Gerald McCoy was mentioned, and David Stone was at the game, so kind of got to think David Stone's going to be that next guy. I know this year they went some current guys. Stutzman kind of got thrown in there with that Boz comparison. So, I mean, if David Stone, he's 6th ranked player in the class, that should be him if he's a Sooner in a couple years.
McCoy,
how much time's left on the?
We're 30 seconds from halftime. It's second and 20.
Anybody got goosebumps? Anybody like?
I'm not sure how long this is going to be once they go into the locker room. The hype's going to be unreal because it's David Stone. But my gosh, guys, this is it's exciting for Sooner Nation. Hey, I'm like probably a lot of Sooner fans where there's some hesitation until they can land one of these 5-star defensive tackles. But, man, this could be the guy right here. This could be him.
Yep, and Stone is very much needed. Like when you're going into the SEC, Stone is not a player that just Oklahoma can get to just add. He's a necessity. You don't get very many 5-star interior defensive linemen in every single recruiting class, especially someone with the talent of Stone. So for Oklahoma to have the opportunity to land him, and with them maybe having some unfortunate things happen to them in the DJ Hicks recruitment, Stone is maybe the thing in which we look back and don't have that PTSD from the Hicks recruitment and are like, okay, we can actually get these 5-star interior defensive linemen.
It's almost like, I compare it a little bit to any sports you're playing and you're going through it. Maybe it's basketball and you're just going through a slump where you're just not hitting shots right. And you get one to fall and it's like, open the floodgates. I kind of think with this Stone recruitment, if he is to commit, I think we can maybe put to bed in the near future about 5-star defensive linemen. I think he could change that narrative completely, just him committing. I really do. I think he's that big of a commit. I mean, his name says it all, Stone. He is going to be the stone of that defensive line, the rock, and they just got to land him tonight, period. Tonight, if he commits somewhere else, tonight is going to not be fun for any OU fan, and it's just going to be this would be the biggest loss as far as a recruit that OU needed, I think, in a long
If he commits somewhere else, I'm going to deactivate my Twitter for probably a few weeks. But
That's better than people have said on Twitter.
going to that basketball term, I would say it is like that. Like if you're really cold and then you just like David Stone is like pulling up from half court and just absolutely draining it. Like he is so big for not only this recruiting class, just for the future of this team in general. I think that if we land him, he probably doesn't start day one next year, but he will be a starter at the end of the season. If not like middle of the season, because he is just a ridiculous player. He's college refined. He is so good, and his upside is just as high as his floor. I mean, I do not see David Stone having a possibility of being bad if it's not injuries.
Hey, this is a very interesting comment here from well 32, and it's interesting because look, we know how Sooner fans are. One thing about David Stone is you can't be critical of how he's doing things because it's his way. It should be David Stone's way. He's the guy. He's the one with the talent. We know that sometimes though there's criticism, there's bashing of how certain guys handle things, and it's not right because we're talking about someone who's trying to make it their own. And kudos to him for doing that. He's done that the whole time. I hope that doesn't affect anything, but yeah, that's, every team's got those fans.
Yep. And with Stone, as has been reported on like KREF or on other podcasts for a year and a half, it's been said that the thing with the question with Stone is that maybe he has friends or family that prefer him to be out of state. That has been said a lot. And now whether that could be because maybe they just want him to get something new, that could be why maybe his mom wanted him to transfer to IMG in the first place. But the thing is, with Stone at IMG, and I think you had a great point, Taylor, that he's already college ready due to the work they get into IMG, how much their strength and conditioning program is ahead of most high schools, and just how prepared he will be to play. And I do think that he will be a day one contributor and potentially a starter very early in his career.
Well, he's got to commit first. Let's hope that happens.
Right now, 3 seconds left. IMG is going to go for a field goal to close out the half. Right now, showing David Stone on the live broadcast talking with the coach before the commitment. So, yeah, we're almost there.
Do you all remember a time other than the Under Armour games or stuff like that where somebody's committed like in game like this? Like,
I think it's happened before. I mean, surely it has.
I know that isn't Nigel Smith going to do something similar, but is that before the game?
It's not a nationally televised game in Nigel Smith's situation. And well 32 again. The message boards have been pretty rough with the fan base like OU. Anytime, especially with how big OU Twitter is, anytime something crazy is said on a message board geniuses, they get us. They get a lot of schools, but when they get OU, it's pretty bad because I've seen Stone, like you said, react to some of them.
Hey, he's live on Instagram.
And the thing is that just with Oklahoma fans, right, it's such a popular fan base that no matter what happens, there's going to be such an impact because of just how active they are on social media, right? Whether if someone does commit to Oklahoma or doesn't, we've seen it. There's fans who take stuff over the top for one single recruit, whether they leave comments that should never be made to no human ever. It has been done, and if Stone does not end up committing to Oklahoma, it probably will be done. But, I'm saying that no matter what Stone chooses to do, I wish him the best of luck in the future. I'm not going to bash the kid. I'm going to be obviously sad and upset he didn't pick Oklahoma, but I truly believe that
Live on Instagram.
whatever he does, Oklahoma fans should be there to support him. I do.
I think it was especially stupid because they were bashing and who I saw the most.
Here we go.
5-star, number one ranked defensive lineman in ESPN
3 hats
300.
on the table right
A
now.
lot of people are watching.
Interesting OU hat.
Hunter, give us the play-by-play as it happens.
I mean, they really molded me into the young man I am today, as long as my parents as well. My siblings, they made me the man I am today. And first,
Give a thanks to his
the
family.
most important man I want to
mentioned
give
in
thanks
Dell
to is
City,
God.
where he
But,
started his high school career
with that being
before,
said, I'll be going to the
moving.
University of.
Here it goes.
almost grabbed the Miami hat, and
The
Boomer
Sooners,
Sooner hat is
Oklahoma.
on. David Stone is a Sooner.
Let's go.
There it is. Changes the culture.
Did he put? Is it for good? Is he done, or is he switching hats?
Hayes Fawcett tweet
the
is live.
What made you pick Oklahoma?
There
Yeah,
it is,
the edit
baby.
is up.
Oh,
Change the
Boomer.
culture.
Boomer boys,
Flip the culture.
Really.
Change it.
that's huge. Golly, that's massive. There you have it. Commits to the Sooners, guys.
Hey, actually anticlimactic in how he did that.
This was
But-
Oklahoma.
Well, you just made Sooner Nation very happy. You'll be there next year. The first year in the SEC, by the way. Congratulations, David.
Hey guys. Hey,
Back to you, Doug.
the impact, guys. Kudos to how he even did that there. I think this guy is very loyal as far as way more loyal than he's being led to than people are talking
Yeah,
about.
100%.
This
100%
guy's
right
way
on that,
more
Joe.
loyal, and he's gonna be amazing in Sooner Nation, and he's gonna bring guys with him. Watch the dominoes fall, guy. They're gonna fall.
Hey, he's
Oh,
Yeah.
And this has also been said a lot. And that Brandon Drum has said this, whether it's on OU Insider, on their podcast, on KREF. Multiple guys have said this. Stone has tried to silently commit to Oklahoma a few times, and the staff has told him, no, you need to be sure. You need to know what you're doing. Okay, you need to make sure this is right for you. You're not going to be allowed to take any other visits. And I believe Jeremy brought up a great point in the loyalty aspect, right? This kid, I guarantee you, over the next few weeks, we're going to see some waves made by David Stone. And I would not be shocked if we maybe see some other guys that currently aren't considering Oklahoma consider Oklahoma just due to the impact that Stone has with the recruits around him.
That's an interesting comment. I did not know that. I thought Stone and Eddie Pierre were friends. They hate each other? That's shocking to hear, to be honest. But no, this is absolutely huge. Kudos to Stone for not picking 4 different hats. And I 100% think he is so locked in. Stone is a loyal guy, and though he played with everybody's hearts and wanted to tear the hearts and just minds and make me want to lose my cool so many times.
Yeah, that comment there, that makes a lot more sense on the beef
Okay.
between the two of them. But yeah, like Taylor's saying, David Stone, he had marketed himself very well throughout the whole
Incredibly.
recruitment, hopping in Twitter spaces. We had that Michigan State kind of phase, when it was all MSU on Twitter, kind of transitioned to OU, then Miami. But like everyone has said, he's loyal, he's locked in. It was just really about him. I think a lot of it is really he's 17, 18-year-old kid. Enjoy your recruitment. I mean, if I was a recruit, I would have an absolute blast making grown men, thousands of them, tens of thousands of grown men, be concerned over every single move I make on social media. And David Stone was able to do that with his Twitter and Instagram. So,
hey, what about Bates? Can't say anything about guys. He's been here 2 years.
Bates can't recruit, man.
He landed a 5-star defensive end last year, and now he got the guy in the middle. Can't say anything about Bates anymore. Okay?
Well,
when OU fans lose out on a certain
PJ's
five-star,
Chase.
they tend to bash Bates, and that's just not fair. And I've been saying, all I've said, I haven't bashed anybody. I've said, hold your horses until they land one of these guys in the middle. Well, they just did. They just did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, as far as the Bates goes, Jay, you mentioned earlier on the video about we're getting in the talks with these 5-star guys now. I'm going to use a little golf analogy. Tiger Woods over and over said, you just want to be in the mix. You're not going to win them all, though Tiger almost always did. But he said, you just want to put yourself in contention.
Yep.
And Todd Bates has done that, and you're going to land some when you do that.
Especially in the modern day transfer portal era, it is more important now to finish second or third than it ever has been before, because a kid can change his mind after the first year, and you know who's going to come calling, and who he is going to be, familiar with, and who want to talk to. It's that second school, and that's why today more than ever, like, even if we had, like, I guess you look back at like Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy, obviously, and like other recruitments like that, Hicks, maybe if Will signs with Mizzou, if these guys do in fact change their mind, finishing second is way better than just not being on the podium at all. It's huge for Stone. It's huge for this team though. You look at like the way that people have tried to bash Bates, but that's back-to-back huge wins with Jaden Jackson and now Stone. If he can go out and convince like a Dominique McKinley to join this class, the Sooners are going to be a force on that D-line headed into the SEC, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's another guy that wasn't mentioned, or at least I don't think he was yet. Danny Okoye. He's visiting next weekend. You have David Stone officially in the boat now. Okoye visiting from Tulsa, Noah. They train with the same trainer, Christian Chief Littlehead, one of the best defensive line trainers in the state, possibly even the country. He trains a lot of the just top OK Preps guys. Currently the defensive line coach at Southmore as well. So, yeah, with Stone in, you think the chances with Okoye should go up quite a bit. He has so far, last time I talked with him, 3 game day visits set, OU being one of them, Tennessee at the end of the month against South Carolina, and then Texas against Wyoming. So those teams are still very much in that race, but getting a guy like David Stone, it makes it a whole lot easier for Danny Okoye to consider OU.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I mean, now you're a week from game day, guys. Already pumped for the season. Now to get this commitment leading into next week, game prep week, I mean, the Sooner coaches have to be just ready to go. I mean, they got to be thrilled right now after this. And it's just, I mean, I'm super excited as an OU fan. Finally get this stud that 2.5 years this guy's been being recruited, and to finally have him OU, man, this is just super happy for me for sure, and all Sooner fans.
Yeah, I can stop following recruiting now and be at peace.
Yep. Now we're officially focused fully into season mode, I think, and it's just that this draw. I wouldn't say his recruitment was definitely kind of all over the place, but the main common factor you heard was OU in it, right? It was OU Miami, OU Michigan State. At a point, even for a couple weeks, it was OU Ohio State. So it's just like this is a recruitment that was all over the place. But guys, the common factor was OU. Okay, it's like this with several other recruits that are still out there, right? For a guy like Nigel Smith, it's been OU to Texas A&M the whole time, right? It's OU. You constantly hear OU in the mix, and I think that them being able to land a guy like Stone, I don't know if we can say how many times we can say it's so important. Oklahoma needed this going into the SEC, and I truly do think, as Jimmy Satterfield mentioned earlier, a guy like Peyton Pierce, he's a name I do not expect to flip. Okay, he's currently committed to Ohio State, but he's claimed for a while his dream school was Oklahoma. He committed to Ohio State kind of out of nowhere due to a guy by the name of James Laurinaitis. I know that Brent Venables and Ted Roof, they still talk to Peyton Pierce some. So I would maybe not be shocked if we see Stone push him due to the relationship we have. And guys, over the next few weeks throughout the season, and throughout recruiting, especially if Oklahoma has a 10-2, 11-1 season and makes the Big 12 championship, maybe even wins it. You're going to see on National Signing Day maybe a shocker for Oklahoma.
Hey, and I agree. And what's more good news there on the chat is USC still struggling with tackling. That's even makes it a better night. But as far as what Hunter said earlier, totally agree. I like the boat analogy. Although I would say that Stone maybe not in the boat. He may be the anchor down in the water as everyone else is going to hop on board.
Yeah, I agree. This probably puts OU close to top 10, I would think, in rankings now.
I'll check, see if they're updated.
I mean, it's got to put them right up there. So just exciting times to be Sooner fans.
I believe it's 11th. Last time I was on the calculator, it should be 11.
Hey, you still got some more out there that you're going to get. So hopefully, it's just going to be another great class for Venables. Basically 2 in a row, guys. Just impressive stuff.
I think the next commit to watch will be Grant Bricks.
Yep.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if we see that within the next week at all.
Well, he originally wanted to commit for their first game, which I think was last night. But we'll see. I do think it'll be soon. I just don't know. OU will win that battle in Nebraska. We'll just have to see. But
yeah. Well, guys,
there you have it. I mean, David Stone. We can finally say it. David Stone is a Sooner. Let's have a great night tonight. Enjoy it. I am. This is like a W on a Saturday game day, guys. This is huge. If you haven't hit subscribe right now so you can be up to date. Turn your notifications on. We'll be bringing you content this week like crazy as we're gearing up for game week. So, guys, great night.
He's coming home, boys.
Coming
he
home.
Just posted on Twitter. He's coming home.
Boomer.
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 Boomer.